This is one of those sequels that I was super excited to watch, and we watched the first one and then went straight on to watching the second one. Welcome to my review of Coming to America. Welcome back, or if you are new here, welcome. My name is Katrina and I make bookish content here on this channel at least twice a week, and then movie reviews or book to movie content here at the weekend. In the description box you will find all of my social links, including my blog and my Goodreads, where I post reviews of most of the things that I read. I will leave my movie reviews playlist linked up above in case you are looking for something to watch this weekend. Yes, my review of Coming to America, so it's basically the same title as the other one. If you are trying to, talk into your remote control and get it to play it, you'll get shown both of them. But this is the sequel to the ever popular Eddie Murphy film from the late 80s. Is it late 80s, early 90s? Anyway, we watched the first one. Yeah, it was good rewatching it because I don't think I'd watched that one as an adult. I remember watching it multiple times as a child, teen. And then, yeah, I hadn't watched it as an adult. So it was interesting watching it as an adult and watching Eddie Murphy do what he does best. And this was the first one of his films where he plays multiple characters. So he plays like people in the barber shop, and he plays like various other characters on throughout the film, and that kind of like was the jumping off point for his like Nutty Professor stuff, where he plays multiple people, and the Norbert film. Anyway, Coming to America is the follow-up, and I think it's really made for people like me who grew up watching that film and feel nostalgic for it. The sort of main takeaway in terms of like positive points for the film is that he has got a lot of people to guest star in this film. It's like a who's who of black comedians and black artists in general. Like, there are a lot of people in this film, even if they just have a cameo. It is a star-studded event. But the sort of main takeaway for us was we finished watching the film and we were like, why is it called Coming to America? Like, obviously it's got the number 2 in it that shows it's a sequel, but Coming to America, the first film, is all about him going from Africa to America and having that like independent self-discovery journey. Whereas this one, yes, he briefly goes to America, but aside from that, most of the rest of it is set in Africa. And so why has the film got the same title? It doesn't make a whole lot of sense. There are a lot of like 1 and 2 star reviews for this film on IMDb, and I think a lot of people were hyped for this film, and I think it has suffered, unfortunately, from overhyping. It's one of these that kind of was supposed to be released last year when every film was supposed to be released, and then it got dropped by, I think, Paramount and picked up by Amazon. And so it's great for us because we were just able to watch it on Prime, watch the first film on Prime, then watch the next one. But I think that there's kind of a reason that it ran into a few of those issues that it did. So it's basically got almost all of the original cast in there, including James Earl Jones. And James Earl Jones, I mean, it's not a spoiler to say that at the very beginning of the film, he dies, making Eddie Murphy king. That's the whole kind of premise behind the film. And then Eddie Murphy's then thinking ahead to who is going to succeed him, because he has 3 daughters. One of those daughters is played by one of his real life daughters, which I think is quite cool. But I'm like, James Earl Jones, is there a film that you're in where you don't actually die? Is it like part of his contract that whatever film he's in, he has to die? Especially when he's someone's father. Just like in this film. I'm like, where is the film where James Earl Jones is young and doesn't die? Where is that film? But yeah, so that's the premise behind it. And then the plot kind of like leaves us there. Like, after that point, I feel like there's basically no plot. And then, yeah, carrying on, there's still no plot. And then we get to the end of the film and you're like, oh yeah, there's still no plot. Okay, all right then. At least the first film has a plot and is quite entertaining and funny. Any sort of comedic moments in this one are definitely very silly comedy. I mean, that's what you get with Eddie Murphy. So if you are into your like silly comedy, very like physical humor, toilet humor, all that kind of thing, then definitely you will find some light relief in this film. But even the kind of like physical comedy in this one isn't that great. It was great to have the barbershop scenes from New York, Queens, back in this film. I really liked those, and again, those were the things that appealed to me watching this film for nostalgic reasons. But a lot of the other scenes in this film, it's like, well, why have we got this scene now, and why is this happening now? And it was a lot of, you know, mirroring a lot of the same scenes from the first film, but a lot of those are very dated and a lot of them don't make sense to whatever the plot is supposed to be of this film. So whilst I did watch the whole thing, I basically just watched the whole thing so that I could bring you a full review here. And they do that classic thing where they end with a bit of like a dance sequence at the end. And again, it's like, well, I'm not sure that this kind of fits in with the tone of whatever the plot is supposed to be here. So yeah, the big takeaways from it were that it's, you know, if you are nostalgic for the first film, a lot of the scenes mirror straight for straight the first film. He has managed to get an awful lot of cameos. There are a lot of like 80s, 90s musicians that are in there that you're like, oh, wow, they're in this. Okay. Morgan Freeman shows up in it. Like, it is definitely a who's who of like awesome black artists. But aside from that, I don't really have a lot of takeaway. There isn't really so much a plot. There isn't really an awful lot of humor. There aren't really a lot of memorable parts from it apart from the cameos by these people. And so therefore, if I was doing my thing of should you pay your cinema money to go and see this one? No, you should not. Should you stream this one on Prime? Download it on your phone. Watch it whilst you're doing something else. It's not one to like sit down and give your full attention. You don't have to have your full attention on this film. Yeah, it's like, it's nice for a bit of nostalgia. Will I be watching it again? No, 100% not. I will watch the first film again. I will not watch this one again. So there you have it. Thank you so much for watching. As always, if there is a film that you would like me to watch and share my thoughts on with you here, do let me know. We have Oscar nominations coming up, so I will be obviously attempting to watch all of those films that get nominated, so you can look forward to some Oscar related videos coming your way very soon. If you enjoyed this video, please do give it a thumbs up. Make sure you are subscribed so that my next video lands in your subscription feed, and hit that notification bell so that you get notified of my bookish content coming at you in the week. I will be back with another video for you on Tuesday, so I will see you then. Thanks for watching.